Welcome back to our Team Conscious. My name is Thomas Brown.
Irvin Bryant.
Shout out to DJ for making our beat
That's at DW Made That on social media.
and follows on social media.
That is at Kinda Woke on Instagram and Twitter. Relatively Conscious everywhere else. Go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, and share this one because the content that we are replying to, responding to, commenting on, is widely shared, and it's got to stop. We got to put the counter narrative out there because Dr. Umar is spreading the lies, spreading the misinformation, and it sounds good, a lot of it, but when you look at it with a critical eye, you realize the man is a fraud.
The reason why I tell the episode this, I do believe Dr. Umar thinks Black people are stupid. Because to get on the show and to say these lies continuously, he must think either we're stupid, we're not going to research, we're not gonna check him on what he has to say. Why do presidential candidates go to Charlamagne's show? Like, I don't understand this.
What do you mean? He's popular.
How did he become our political voice though? Why is the political conversation happening on his show?
I mean, it's American celebrity culture, but American celebrity culture in 21st century is influencer culture. And so if I am an influencer, whether I'm Donald Trump, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Matthew McConaughey, or Caitlyn Jenner, all of the above, right?
Yeah.
Famous people. I am an influencer, quote unquote. No matter what I do, it's kind of hit. Like our celebrity machine has evolved to the degree, and that is what the whole influencer business model, where no matter what I do, whatever I want to do, as long as I put some effort into it, my following of millions will follow me. And that's Kanye West can run for president now. His because his erratic behavior, he's not focused, and his full creative force, unlike fashion, was not fully into it, so it was kind of doomed to be a failure. But these guys, sober mind, they got it.
But hold up. When Mitch McConnell, Mitt Romney, when Nancy Pelosi, when Marco Rubio, the people who actually hold Marco Rubio, people who actually hold power in this country want to talk to white people. They go on the Sunday shows. They go to 60 Minutes.
No.
But see, my problem.
Charlemagne is.
But let me finish real quick though, because if I talk to white people, I talk to people who actually have money, I go to 60 Minutes, I go to the Sunday shows.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to talk to, we all got to go to Charlemagne the God and do his show. So Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, all these people thought, if I want to hit the right Black people's ears, let me go on Charlemagne the God's show. And I still don't understand how he become the person you go to when everyone else, when I go to talk to white people or Hispanic people, I either go to, Telemundo has a news show. I go on a news show. I go on a Sunday shows. I don't go to a radio host who plays hip hop tapes.
I think you're comparing apples to oranges. Who has this show? Because if I quote unquote want to talk to white people, which is just talking to everybody,
yes,
right?
But yeah,
then I'm going to go on Anderson Cooper, let's say, right, or Katie Couric, right, Diane Sawyer, right, 60 Minutes, and that's talking to everybody, Black people, this is just network television. And if I'm talking to the Spanish world, right, the majority of the Americas, I'm on Telemundo, I'm on Univision. But if I want to talk to 12% of the United States in particular, where I know they're listening, a lot of them, a section of them is watching 60 Minutes, but some of them aren't, and some of them, this is where they at. So I mean, I peep your frustration, but I don't think that's.
But like
you can into context,
you can go TV One though. You can go to do.
Nobody watched that. Nobody watched that.
You can do Ricky.
They don't compete with Charlemagne at all. Not even close.
How come
that video was up for a day and it's already got 1 million views? But it's an hour and 16 minutes of Dr. Umar spitting nonsense and 1 million views in a day. It's just a conversation.
So, because my question, I think about this more is that what we have is a structural issue here, because he doesn't cut them get on 60 Minutes. I do a test interview with him. He started talking. I'm like, yes, you can't be on the show because I'm not supposed to do that with you. Because you're not Donald Trump. You're not the leader. You're not literally the president of the United States, so I don't listen to your.
He can't amass that kind of clout because he's working
Yeah,
with black people and black people exclusively. So that's literally impossible. Umar makes an argument like this, not exactly like this, but about the whole like black agenda thing,
yeah,
right? And to Charlamagne's credit, he does argue, gives a brief pushback, claiming that, which is true, black people aren't a monolith, so we'll never all agree on an agenda.
yeah.
That is ridiculous. Umar responds, the Asian people have an agenda. They can get together on a thing. Now, I happen to know Asian people.
You don't have.
I would hope that you know at least a couple, anyone. Just
Yeah,
just meet some,
yeah.
And they don't.
No, they don't.
That just doesn't exist. There are Asian advocacy groups, just like there are black advocacy groups. And you said what?
The Muslim world doesn't have an agenda, and even gay people don't have an agenda. They're the only thing they all agree on is stop killing us and please let us marry.
Killing us, yeah. And black people agree on that. We agree on BLM. Asians agree on stop Asian hate. Gay people agree on gay marriage to say, I mean, they stop violence against them, but there's no catchphrase. My point is
transparency of human rights.
That whole like, why don't we have the we is real, but it's not real in a way that it manifests in a like, oh, this is our equivalent thing. Like Asians don't have a cable show or a network show.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. You can go on the Filipino channel because they're speaking Tagalog. Yeah. I only know about the TFC because like I have a bunch of Filipino friends I grew up with, but I mean, it's not they don't have like a representative. This is not the Chappelle show is what I wrote in my notes. There's no Asian delegation. So I don't know. That's that imaginary stuff that we really get caught up in. And that's why I say, with some critical thought, you can really push past a lot of the black nationalist separatist stuff because it just doesn't like work in reality.
Yeah, I mean, because we're about to get into this, and I'm realizing more and more my frustration is not with Dr. Umar because the world is always going to have snake oil salesmen. My problem is with Charlamagne the God and the fact that he is considered to be the place to go to. And when I listen to other podcasts, I listen to 538, I listen to a New York Times podcast, a daily podcast. All these people keep talking about, you want to talk to black people, you go on the Breakfast Club. Y'all always keep mentioning the Breakfast Club as a place to go. And that doesn't make any sense to me because the Breakfast Club was the same place where Elijah got asked about how your sister get raped. Who did that? Like, how is he the guy who you go to? Like, Jake Tapper makes more sense. He has some journalistic bona fides. But again, I say this, who the Charlamagne the God to be asking any type of political questions to anybody? Anyway, the Asian hate part, right?
Yes.
He said Asian people dealing with hate for 1 year.
Hilarious.
Not true. Do you want to break that down?
Okay. Let's just start 1870s. Chinese Exclusion Act. First American restrictions on immigration. To be specific, they said, y'all are dirty with disease. Y'all are looking to take over our country because you're foreigners. We don't trust you. And we don't want none of your women coming over here. So they've drastically limited the amount of women who can come over and basically let men come over and did them the way that we're doing migrants from south of the Rio Grande now. So the way we do all our Central American brothers and sisters in Mexico and all that, they come over here, limited, little to no documentation, horrible immigration system, putting them through the ringer, working them like a dog for less than minimum wage, under the table this, treat them like dirt because they speak a certain language like that. All of that, except it's in the 19th century. So imagine that it's the old West.
Yeah.
You can't just kill a man and no one will say anything. And that often occurred. Just crazy abuses everywhere. That's how they started in the game.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Transcontinental Railroad, where it's essentially a chain gang across the country with just Chinese dudes literally dying on the tracks.
Yeah. And so, of course, people are going to bring up that black people were also there too. And yes.
Yeah, that's great.
In the South, we were building the railroads, but from California up to New Mexico through Oklahoma, it was just Asian people doing that, Asian brothers. And they were dying left and right, and nobody cared.
Right.
And
So, real quick, you already know what I'm about to say.
yeah,
Stop comparing suffering. So, and this is what Dr. Umar did, and it's really what pissed me off
but
because
it's
he's
fun,
like,
Irving. It's fun to compare suffer.
it's stupid. It's like you got stabbed and I got shot, and then we're gonna go and like, bro, we need medical attention, and you say you need to wait. You only got stabbed. I'm the one who got shot. I need to get to the hospital first. What we need to go together. We both need to figure out how to get some medical attention. Why on God's green earth are you finna start counting bodies that got dropped hundreds of years ago or yesterday? If my children are getting killed, black children, and your elders are getting killed, Asian elders, we both, which I don't shout out Fred Hampton, Black Panthers.
Yeah,
Okay. The problem is bigger than race. So if we can, as a people, model the Black Panthers who we love so dearly, we can get past the nonsense and realize that we are all getting screwed by this same system. White supremacy, America, capitalism, however you want to label it, you any of those different perspectives is better than, oh, we got to get in line first because their elders are for real dead. So you beefing about this is not going to help literally anyone.
yeah. Okay, so and then he talked about the executive orders, and so the point, the law we're going to get to really quickly is that one, the executive order that Joe Biden signed did not do very much, just allocated funds, right?
Right.
Secondly, the executive order he signed for trans people,
Mm-hmm.
they've been asking for that for a long time.
Yeah, and it
And
didn't exist.
and the same day he had signed an executive order, he signed another executive order saying that all policies will look through a lens of racial equity in how to fight systemic racism.
Yeah. That's in the text. Yeah. So Joe Biden is considering race in these arguments,
Yeah,
but to just to nip it in the bud, because you said Dr. Umar thinks we're stupid, and I literally just Googled a list of Biden executive orders. I put in the find feature, right?
yeah,
Started searching some keywords. I found reforming our incarceration system to eliminate the use of privately operated criminal detention facilities, mass incarceration, for-profit prisons, school to prison pipeline, 13th Amendment.
all of it.
And this was passed on the 30th. It was signed on the 26th of January and passed on the 29th of January 2021. So within the first month, Umar is a liar.
The first week.
Oh, yeah, because that's after inauguration. You're right.
Yeah, first week.
So within the first week, now this isn't police violence is illegal because police brutality is already illegal. That's a bigger problem with it's not solvable with an executive order. But it's a lie to say that he's not addressing the needs of black people with executive orders.
Yeah, and because anybody who knows anything about politics, executive orders can be undone by the next president and are a way of getting things done, but are hardly ever stuck in stone. And the main issue, the main problem we always have is that Congress is broken and don't pass laws. And I'm gonna say that over and
president
over
can't
again.
pass a law, and that's another thing. Dr. Umar, because he's out of his political depth,
Yeah,
he often equates president's plans with passing a law. Why doesn't Biden pass a law? They have yet to pass a law. That has little to do with Biden, unfortunately. And it had little to do with Obama because our Congress is fundamentally broken for a number of reasons, and it's far beyond race.
Yeah, the main reason is that politicians realize people are stupid, and if I just show up on TV as much as possible, I'll get reelected. Why take a vote where if I run against somebody, it'd be like he voted for this. I didn't vote for anything because I didn't do my job, so I didn't pass the laws.
The most infamous man on Capitol Hill who represents our state does not pass laws, doesn't claim to. And when it's time for re-election, he just says, hey, remember when Obama tried to do anything and I told him no? You want me to do that again?
Yeah.
And then he marches back up to Washington.
Yeah, so then he talked about the trans executive order. And do you want to get into that? Because he made a bold claim that basically trans people weren't POCs or minority groups or people being hurt, you know?
So, yeah, basically what you said. They're not POC. Quote, he signed an executive order to help trans people. That was not for POC. That was not for minorities. That was not for people in disenfranchised communities. And that's a problem where One, I know you closet transphobic and you don't want to say it, and that's okay. It's coming through. You ain't gotta say it. I already know.
I see it.
Um,
I see it on you.
you know what I'm saying? It's coming
Yeah.
out your pores. You're sweating. So there's that. Moreover, it's a problem with that intersectionality. That's how I know your social, political, critical lens is not developed. Because what makes you think there's not black people who trans? That's stupid.
Actually,
There are famous black trans people. So you're bugging. That telling me these people not broke? You telling these people
yeah.
aren't other types of minorities? You're a
You tell me they
clown.
aren't getting murdered in the street. One thing I want to address real quick though, because when we talk about trans people, many times we talk about them getting murdered, and as if that is the most important situation. Of course, them be able to just live life and not have to worry about getting fired from the job, or be able to just get their pronouns addressed by the pronouns they want to be addressed by.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Simple stuff.
just yeah, it's also important. But I talk about the murder because that is a point for people who are somewhat transphobic. If you do say people are getting killed in the street, maybe they will perk and listen. Because same way during the civil rights movement, if I saw a child getting attacked by a dog, I'd be like, maybe Negroes do have rights, share rights.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, the black trans community continuously they have the worst numbers when it comes to um, mental health, being attacked by the police, being killed by their own family members, being rejected by their family members, being impoverished, and
Poverty.
yeah, poverty. And so the whole house movement in the village of New York City is only because trans and gay kids were getting kicked out in droves and they had nowhere to go but New York or Montrose and Houston. You know, the little pockets, little neighborhoods where maybe they could
Enclaves.
enclaves, basically they could like live like a regular human being, and that's still somewhat going on today. And for him to make that equation, you know, I see it. The transphobia is showing. You know,
Yeah.
you don't care about them. So let's talk about his the assumptions he made about the Democratic agenda and why they won't pass pro-black legislation.
Yes.
Lay it out for us
So
real quick.
our esteemed black leader, Dr. Umar, the our self-appointed leader of the black delegation, claims that the Democratic legislative agenda is incompatible with a black agenda. So Barack Hussein Obama made this decision, and Joe Biden, according to Dr. Umar, is also making this decision, where he is choosing to not offend the whites and only dip his toe into pro-black politics. Because if he were to go full in pro-black, he would destroy the political agenda of the Democrats and therefore, lose the game. So he's just going to stick with the Democrats and say, forget black people. Yes, that is the assessment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Confusing, I know.
My brain just broke for a second there.
Yes, yeah. It's a lot.
If I'm not mistaken, the Democratic agenda isn't it to expand healthcare to people who have no money,
Sounds right.
to to expand the minimum wage, to
Yes,
expand the social safety net and child care services, paid time leave based on paid time off, to expand safety regulations, to stop climate change and pollution,
Police brutality, yes.
police brutality. Aren't all those things a
Mass
pro-black agenda?
incarceration.
Yeah, is that all a pro-black agenda to does that sound pro-black to you? Will we not benefit the most from all those?
Didn't Barack Obama come on this show? In fact, the very same Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club show.
Yeah.
And tell Charlemagne to his face what you just said. Because these are they're all in the same party. This is their same agenda.
Yeah.
Barack Obama had uniquenesses, and he did actually get things done. And he explained that writing legislation with black people in the name doesn't exactly work in the 21st century.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work any besides like actual laws that say black people can't do X, Y, Z.
Yeah, and unless you're striking out laws that discriminated against us by name.
Yeah.
No laws for us are for us by name. Yeah. Unless it is an executive order to say we should fund more black schools or we should look into this police brutality thing. which the Biden administration is already doing, which
Yeah.
the Obama administration already did.
Yes. We would not know how bad Baltimore was or Ferguson was. We wouldn't have the stats to talk about it without the work of Eric Holder and the DOJ directed by President Obama. But I guess it's not black enough for Dr. Umar. I don't know what he wants. He wants Obama to come out and dashiki into the Rose Garden and be like, like Tupac, strictly for my niggas.
That's a really good one. But more than that, see, not only are you a fool for believing in Barack Obama and his chicanery, you fell for the Trump card, because Trump came out and was a big bad racist, and all you black people, this is Dr. Umar speaking, bought him as the devil. Barack Obama was the angel, and you thought Trump was the devil. You thought if you beat Trump, you beat racism, and you're a fool. Do you remember in 2020 when that was the ethos? Tony, do you remember that? Were you there?
Nobody said beating Donald Trump is going to stop racism,
especially nobody black.
We were all just like, this guy, he can't govern at all. At least I think Ronald Reagan may have racist bones in his body, but at least Ronald Reagan can govern somewhat. At least
right.
George Bush Sr. and Jr. can somewhat govern. Like Woodrow Wilson, who was the first Southern president after the Civil War, was racist as they come. I mean, he could still govern and guide us through a world war. Donald Trump can do the basic thing of getting into a pandemic. He could not figure it out. He's talking about drinking bleach to solve COVID.
That one's bad. Yeah, he said go ahead and snort that Lysol. Just go off that. Whip it is what they call it.
And then he said, Rudy Giuliani, his lawyer said, we're gonna have a trial about combat, and he had people ready to hang Mike Pence.
Here's the Umar thing, though. My takeaway.
Yeah.
He thinks you're dumb in the way that Hitler, Mussolini, the fascists.
Yeah.
And those are just kind of like the chief ones. But Donald Trump, the way he thinks his followers are dumb. Right? Yeah. Because I'm going to say some true facts about how bad things are. Dr. Umar says a lot of true things, like, mass incarceration is a problem. Bam. Wow. You know what's going on in the black community, at least to the minimum, right? And he does know quite a bit about school psychology and how they diagnose kids and all those things. His actual area of expertise.
His degrees in that. So
no, exactly, yeah. So yeah. But I'm just saying, if I hit you with the truth,
yeah,
okay, and then I affirm your struggle, then I can just. He thinks he can just go and run away with the bag, because what he bookends this interview with is begin and donate FDMG school, a school that he's been developing for 14 years, and there is literally nothing to show for it. He continually berates and belittles, condescends to the black community, saying, because you don't have any organization, because you're spending your money with all these white people, because you don't know how to raise your kids, because your kids running around thoughting and gangbanging. He tells you're nothing. He'll lay the black community low. Our HBCUs aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and our pastors aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Well, Umar, what is the solution? Oh, well, you need to buy my book. You need to follow me. And that's classic fascism. No one can save you but me.
Donald Trump at the RNC. Nobody can fix it but me. The band had bars.
Come on. He said, I'm the King Kong of consciousness, the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I never heard Huey, Dr. Martin, Malcolm X, Booker T, Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, Ida B. Wells,
James Baldwin.
None of them has said what.
He's a snake oil salesman. And he sees people in a time of need. And so, back in the West, I can pull up on the town. I know someone got dysentery this town because the water nasty. I know somebody got syphilis because y'all nasty. I got this pure heroin snake oil that's gonna take care of it right now. A little cocaine inside here. Put a little whiskey on your baby's gums. They'll stop whining about teething because they drunk. There's a snake oil salesman. And so he sees a community that's hurting and that needs help. And he's like, buy this, buy that, spend your money with me. Don't spend it with these other people. And, keeping the money in the black community, sure, I'm all for that. Building black schools, I'm all for that. But KIPP Academy, yes, prep school, they're down the street from me and they're doing that on a daily basis. There are black charter schools.
Church.
Yeah, the black
My church teaches kids how to read.
Yeah. They stay doing that, and they stay doing it well, and they don't do that by assuming that black people are so stupid that they'll just continue to give you money if you never turn the lights on in your school. You know, Malcolm X wasn't right when he said that about what's called black them putting entertainers in front to hurt us. He was wrong, but the part of it that I do agree with, if we continue to let Charlamagne and God be the place we can have the conversation. Charlamagne and God's only goal is to get more people to listen. And so what we're doing right now, making content about Charlamagne and God's content, that is his goal. That is more people going to listen, more people going to look. And so Charlamagne and God's only goal is to make money at the end of the day. So they're owned by iHeartRadio, whose job is only to get people to listen. And so, of course, Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar can come on there and spew all his nonsense because black people are going to listen. And that is my, I don't know, it's saddening. It makes me want to cuss and scream to the mountaintops. Because I'm like, what is this? You know, I don't understand this. I don't understand why we haven't. Last thing, he got a PhD. If it was a rapper who came on Charlamagne God's show,
that's true.
And he was like, you know, he was just, you know, DMX
saying
talking
things that were wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you know what? He's a rapper, you know. But Dr. Umar got a doctoral degree, right? Like he's supposed to be the voice of our people. I can't do it anymore. Anyway, my name is Thomas Brown.
Irvin Bryant.
Peace.
Do it to him,